Today's video, we're taking a field trip. We're going to TPR, Total Performance Racing. All right, guys, if you're not familiar with TPR, Greg and his crew put together some of the best performance and reliability parts for side-by-sides in the industry. So we're gonna head to their shop, we're gonna check it out, and we're gonna bring some parts home for our Razor XPTS project. All right, these guys have a lot going on. Got machines cranking away and all kinds of parts. Very rad. Here's their engine assembly room. Oh, this is what we're here for. Parts just like that. Very cool. All right, so we're back from TPR. We're in the garage. Let's take a look at what we brought home. Okay, so first thing up, one of the main reasons I contacted TPR was I was really interested in their breather system. So the turbo Razors are known for high crankcase pressure, which then pushes oil back into the intake with blow-by, and you end up consuming oil. I found my first trip out, I had measured the oil, went and ran the car, saw the oil was not low, but it was down afterwards, which concerned me. And then I started researching it and finding out this is a very, very common problem. So one solution is to put a catch can in the car. Problem with the catch cans is they overfill, you dump them out, they make a mess, you still have to put oil back in. So the way TPR's handled it is they have this really awesome chambered breather catch can system. So I don't know how it works inside of this thing, but basically what it does is the oil through the blow-by is captured. It runs right back down through a big hose and right back into the crankcase with this beautiful billet crankcase piece or block. Now, over here on this side, you're going to get all your water and your excess fuel and things that worked their way through the motor, and you can drain that stuff out, get those contaminants out of here. So the beauty of this is you're really not having to add any oil because of the fact that it's getting recircled back into the engine, which is great. So no mess, not worrying about running out of oil. This really solves, a big issue with these cars because you run them down on oil, motor can be toast. So the next thing up is this beautiful billet valve cover. Now, when you look at this, my first impression was, oh, it's just some bling for the motor that you might not ever see. Well, there is a whole lot more to this. So first off, the model that we have, it's really hard to see, but down inside here, there's these tiny pores. And basically, it has an input right here, which is cam oilers. So you have a oil line that comes off of the block where the turbo and everything attaches, and it pumps oil back up in here, and it sprays oil all through the inside of the valve cover down into the cams. One of the biggest issues with these cars goes back to the failure of the valve train, and again, it's because they're not getting proper lubrication. So this solves that. The second thing it does, it allows you to upgrade to MSD stick-style ignition. Now, this is something that was upgraded for the Pro models, but if you have a Turbo S or you have an XP Turbo like we do, this gives you an opportunity to upgrade, which is really cool. So you get rid of the old problematic ignition system and you get the new MSD ignition system, which is great. Now this also accommodates this coolant bleeding system, which is really, really cool. So what this does is it makes it super easy to bleed the coolant system out of the car. Now, normally the process is having to jack the front end really, really high, and then you basically try to get the air bubbles and things out of the cooling system that way. With this, there's a whole nother process to it that's really simple and easy. The car can be on flat, level ground, and it can be done right out in the dunes or on the trails. So if you ever did overheat the car, you started running down on coolant, you needed to add coolant. Oh, but now how am I going to bleed the system? This allows you to do it very simply, which is great. So we also have the collaboration between Garrett and TPR for a new type of charge cooler. This charge cooler is much more durable. The stock ones are known for cracking, and then all of a sudden all the coolant's going down into the intake and motor's toast. So here you've got a much more durable product, so you're going to have peace of mind, and it is more efficient. It also has a breather system as well to help out with bleeding the coolant system. Last but not least, we also picked up TPR's mechanical or manual timing chain tensioner. Another problem in these cars is that spring-loaded timing tensioner just wears out. Next thing you know, you skip timing. Now you got to pull the motor. So these guys have a beautiful billet manual system that's super, super easy to install. That's going to give you peace of mind. And then, once a season or every 700 miles, you can just confirm the tension is correct. And that way, again, not worrying about it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our little field trip over to TPR. Got all of our new components. I'm super excited to install them. We're going to get those installed over the next couple of weeks. And that way we have our XPTS project, ready to go. We want to be able to turn this car up. We want to put some tunes in it. But these parts are going to make sure we've got a reliable platform to work with. So we'll get these parts installed really soon. All of those videos up hopefully shortly.